nice. Change the location up a little bit.
Yep, we're getting a little more professional.
Tonight's show is more directed towards the ladies. More about good men, qualities of good men. Not particularly like, we can't really tell you how to find one, but some of the avenues you might want to take, to get the man that...
Yeah, where he might be at.
Where he won't be at.
Yes. More importantly, where he will not be at. Exactly, yeah. Where he won't be at. And also, too, we're going to go in even a little more as to what are some of the qualities of an actual good man. Because a lot of times I think in society we have things warped of what are
there's like
what are not good men.
Misconception, a lot of misconceptions these days, especially with the younger generation, of what a good man is. They're still more or less stuck on the, I don't want to say all materialistic, but they'll let some things go because of a man's stature. By stature I mean like his money, what power they think he might have, his reputation, and they'll kind of let things slide from time to time based off of that. And I'm not just making this up. I'm saying it because, like I said, we always say I wasn't always married. I've been on the other side of the fence. So I'm speaking from being that type of dude before. So I mean, just to jump into it, I always see a lot of comments as far as they're all negative about men.
Yeah, men ain't this, men ain't that. There's no good men out here. I can't find a good man, and it's you see a lot more negativity swirling around than you actually see a person actually, praising, or giving props to men, and that's something that I hope we can change.
Yeah, because with the social media, one bad comment on the Twitter, on the Facebook about your significant other, if you're still with them, if you're not, it spreads like wildfire across the Facebook page. It spreads to the other relationship that one of your other friends might be in, and then she calls out her boyfriend, and then she calls out the next one calls out her kid's father, for whatever reason.
And you see that even with just like, I see how a lot of women love Real Housewives and stuff like that, and you see some of the fights that went on behind the scene in people's household because of them mimicking what they see on there, thinking that that's how a relationship is conducted with a man.
And those are those perceptions that social media and false reality TV kind of puts out there. One thing I see a lot of, and it cracks me up, is a lot of and I'm by no means I'm not bashing any females, because I always say I don't see a lot of men come on Facebook or Twitter or whatever social media outlet and publicly, and I know there's men who do it, but I have not yet seen one of my friends do it to a female that they have a child by, or that they're married to, used to be married, whatever. I see a lot of women come on social media, and to me, they do a disservice to their self when you're coming on here saying you have a child by this guy, he doesn't take care of the child, which is dead wrong, by all means, but to assume that he was, it's the presentation that messes up your credibility. If you're saying he was nothing the whole time, then I always pose the question, like, did he start off that way?
I mean, was he a loser when you slept with him?
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of times people show you their true colors, and just he showed you his true colors, and so you chose for whatever reason to, and I'm not saying every scenario, but I'm saying a lot of scenarios, mainstream scenarios, you see people showing their true colors. Guys showed their true colors, and because he was cool or whatever, it made you feel good or whatever, you thought that this might keep him around, or I'm going to keep kicking it with him or whatever it is. But he showed you his true colors. He showed you, I'm not going to change. This is who I am.
That's what I always say. I'm like, I ask a lot of questions on the 1voice Facebook page, and it's scary because out of the 5 or 6 times that I ask, like, what qualities do you think a good man should possess? No, until yesterday, I would get no answers back. But all day you'll see 5 or 6 random posts about, I hate my kid's father. There's no good men. Guys are this, guys are that. But I'm like, to me, when I don't get a response, but you'll get people who like the question, what? I don't think a lot of females know what they really want in a good man.
Yeah.
And I know men are flawed, don't get me wrong, but I don't think for the most part they know what a good man actually is, like some of the characteristics. And the feedback we got today was great as far as, what characteristics they like to see, in a man.
Yeah. And that's and I think definitely a huge shout out to the young ladies who responded to that. Aretha, Tiffany, and a few others, which I can't get through it all now. But hey, thank you very much. We appreciate your responses. I think you said it exactly right. I think a lot of women don't understand. They don't know what they really want, and what constitutes a good man.
Yeah.
And that's really what we want to break down tonight, is to what actually constitutes a good man. Me and Matt were in a group earlier today, and that was a subject that they were talking about. What makes manhood? What characteristics do you feel defines a good man and good manhood? And I think a lot of times people get so caught up in what people say a good man should be, and unfortunately, look where that gets you.
Because there's 2 definitions.
Yeah.
It's like society's there's your friend's definition, which is society's definition, and then there's the true definition. Exactly.
And one of the things that definitely constitutes a good man is somebody who is responsible.
Yeah, that's
like you said, accountability.
I would say that's like the major word.
Yeah.
And I don't even mean as far as, like, we're not even saying just as far as taking care of kids. I mean, as far as everything. Like, responsibility goes much further than just taking care of your children. Everything. You're employed, you're educated, you respect yourself, you respect where you come from. You're a representation of, your mother, your father, whoever, your grandmother, whoever raised you, your family, your race, your community. You're all those things combined. And like, the word representation is huge. Don't get me wrong. It comes with a lot of responsibility. The word responsibility. It comes with a lot. You can't just throw it out there. And unfortunately, I can speak on it because when I was younger, I wanted to be the kind of guy, my friends wanted me to be. Like, cool, and not saying I was out breaking the law or committing crimes, but just, I was put the world first and everything else second.
That's how the same. Yeah, exactly, same thing. And that's that's where it tries to gear you a lot. But the thing is, I think that constitutes us as making that transition to men is as we got older, you understood what was and was not important, what was reality and what was myth, what was, mystique, and that's that I think a lot of people get that misconception, like a good man, like you said, is somebody who's responsible, and like you said, they're responsible for their whole entire demeanor,
Exactly.
Not just your kid, but their whole entire, how they conduct themselves. And a good man is definitely not somebody who you're going to find at a hood, dive bar, all drunk and high at 2:00 in the morning trying to talk. That's not a good man.
No.
Okay, so let's just get that out there. You know, I hear a lot of people.
Yeah.
You're not going to meet him there. Like, that's just no.
And not to say like you can live in certain areas and you don't have to be a product of the environment.
Exactly.
Like there's good and bad in every area.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, you're not going to meet Mr. Right at, you know, the bar named The Trap or, you know, or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, let's just be honest. I used to go to bar. I didn't meet my wife in the club.
No.
I used to go to the South Side and hit every club, every bar. I never met Mrs. Right there. You might meet Mr. or Mrs. Right now. Yeah. But you're not going to meet...
I'm not going to meet you when I'm impaired.
Yeah, thank you.
My mental state is impaired.
It's like the qualities you want to possess. I don't know if a lot of guys, and like I said, I'm not taking shots at the ladies. I don't think a lot of guys want to assume all that responsibility because you have to live up to it every day. Mm-hmm. It's not just like a title you can take it and put the belt on and then you don't take the belt off. And like
that's a great example.
Yeah, you have to wear it every day. One thing I like. We were having a meeting earlier. One thing that transitioned me, like I always knew what qualities made it, you know, a good man. But when I was younger, I think we're so influenced by, you have such a large clique. Your friends are like your fan base, pretty much. Yeah.
That's exactly.
And you're driven off of, you know, Matt, go
do
Jordan.
This,
you know, you're driven off of the.
You feed off of it.
You feed off of their vibe and their energy. So when you're out with your boys or your girls, and you know, girl, oh my God, you look so good. You can get any guy or man, bro. You know, you
killing
look,
them
man,
tonight,
you're killing them tonight, bro. You're fresh. You got your haircut, you everything, and you're fueled by that. Not to say your friends are negative, but.
Which they shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be, but in certain circumstances or instances, you can be led astray because of that. You know, that you're feeding off the crowd and the energy that they're giving.
It's like a negative. It's like a false. They give you like a false image.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, like they push you. It push you in areas that you really. That's really not the route you wanted to go. You should go down. Like you know, because it's like they only show one side of the coin. It's like they're not showing the after effect.
Exactly. They don't. They'll show you, but like they'll show you the beginning of the process.
They don't show you what happens.
They'll show you
if something goes terribly wrong.
They'll show you the cause, not the effect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we see that. We see that so much. I mean, from the images to music to everything, they're really good at glorifying one side of the story. Yeah. They don't show a lot of the other side, the negative stuff that comes with it, because that's what's going to happen. But and another thing that I really I think constitutes a good man, where you will find a good man. Where good men hang out, where you hear of guys who are actually successful and responsible and are thriving and moving forward in life. Yeah. People will hang out with people. They want to hang out with people who are similar to them. Yeah. Millionaires want to hang out with millionaires. You know what I mean? Doctors want to hang out with doctors. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, guys who are successful, we're around them all the time because that's who we want to align ourselves with. That's, our interests are similar. So we're going to be at places where successful people want to hang out at. You know what I mean? Like
they make establishments like for successful people to hang out.
Business oriented like establishments, or even happy hour. You know, I mean, because you don't have to go to happy hour and get obliterated. No. Yeah, a lot of people usually don't. It's usually to go and relax. But you have certain guys there who are there and they're just there chilling. They're not drunk or anything.
9 out of 10 times they're coming from work.
Which is a great sign. Yeah. That's a great sign right there. You know what I mean?
So 9 out of 10 times they're coming from a good place. Yeah. And most of the time, like I know we have one on Wednesday. My job has one at Atria's, a happy hour on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And most of like PNC, they use them most of the time. I use them for networking. Like I might not really bump into this person in the office too much. So we can have a conversation that a little lighter than we would in passing in the office. So there are places, like I always hear, there's nowhere to go in Pittsburgh to find one. I mean, well, first you shouldn't be out looking for one. I mean, honestly, we said this a million times on the show before. No woman should be chasing a guy at all. It doesn't work that way. I mean, honestly.
If you're chasing, you're over exhausting yourself automatically. Because guys, you don't really want some girl who's going to come chasing you.
No.
I mean, that doesn't really appeal
to a mature, real.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll want the, and I'm in that.
I mean, it feels good.
You'll want the end result.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll want the pleasurable result, but you won't want the long journey in the relationship building with that woman.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It goes just against something in our manhood, our DNA, that we hunt. And I'm not saying that in a negative type of way, but we are the aggressor. We are the one that at least you should be. Somebody.
You should be the pursuer.
Yeah, the pursuer. You open the door for her. You know what I mean? You pay the first date for her. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you take charge. You know what I mean? That's what men do. And that's always been a quality that women like. Women like a take charge man, And I think that, like you said, you shouldn't be chasing at all. So if you're looking for Mr. Right, going out chasing after him is no way to find him. And also, too, look at what the quality of man. What's his qualities?
Yeah.
Did you meet him at a foundation or something that something that's helping? Was he volunteering? With children, or was he at a religious event? Something. Is it a good place to meet a person? Is it something? Yeah, and Like, what was the environment like? Because if he's in a positive environment, and it's automatically you're off to it. That's where a lot of successful good men are at good places doing good things.
I'm not knocking anyone. There's good people in bars.
Yeah.
But there's great people that aren't going to those bars. They've learned, like I said, I was never one to hang in bars myself. Yeah, I mean, I went to clubs and whatever. And I'm not saying that someone in the club is a bad person right now, whatever. But you're not going to you'll find temporary happiness. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's really, like, I don't even know how to word it right. Like, if the type of guy you want is up here at this level, you want a level 10 guy. You can't hang out where the 1s and 2s and the 3s and the 4s are.
Thank you.
And I always say, like, maybe you have to raise the bar. I always tell women, my wife, when we were dating, women set the bar.
Yeah.
So if you're going to set it this low and the dude don't have to jump to get over the bar.
Thank you.
I mean, honestly.
It's easy. Yeah. I mean, that's why men buy expensive cars, nice clothes, all that stuff, because we want to impress you.
Because women like those
Women
things.
like those
so
things.
Women, if you guys really architect, the blueprint, we would change it up.
100%.
And I mean, we should change it automatically off top, but you do control as far as those aspects of the relationships. And like you said, the emails and the feedback we got was great. Like, they wanted, the caring guys, the strong. The one thing I seen was like a strong, protective.
Yeah.
I always say this: when you meet the guy, if he's not the majority of those qualities when you're dating him, don't expect for a vast change to come just because he's your boyfriend. If he was a strong, hard-working man when you got with him, chances are he's going to stay that way and get better as time goes on. Yeah. If he didn't want to be anything when you met him,
he's not going to be
chances are
after.
No. And that's one thing I will discredit women for. A lot of women want to think they have the ability
to take on a project.
Yeah.
Anybody,
You know,
they want, you know, and that I think a lot of people need to understand that if he don't want to change, if he wanted to change, he would change.
Yeah,
That's it. You can't make him, and having a baby or just sleeping with him over and over again, that's not going to do anything. That's not going to change him because he's not interested, you know. And I think that, you know, with that being said, it's I think a lot, like you said, they really people need to set their bar higher, and sometimes setting your bar higher might be that you might be alone for something. Not alone, but you might be single. There's no curse.
There's nothing wrong with
in being
Believe
single.
Me. Yeah.
You know, it's a curse to set your standards low and deal with somebody who is far beneath you.
It's a curse to pass up on a guy with great potential because you want to grab the guy that your friends will be like, wow.
Yeah.
But they don't know what goes on inside your house.
Thank you.
You're smiling when you see your friends, but you're crying when you get home.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because you know the dude that you're with only gets the outer admiration.
Mm-hmm.
On the inside, he's flawed.
Ugly. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's hideous.
And I see that, like, the one gripe I always have is, okay, if he doesn't want to take care of his kid and you guys are together, what was the beginning of the relationship like? Like we said earlier, what did it start off as?
Yeah.
It did not start off as, oh, I don't like you, but let's just sleep together and have this kid and then you can leave. It started off with, and 9 out of 10 times, like you said, he showed you something. He showed you he wasn't
he didn't take care of his other kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't take care of his other kids.
Thank you.
What makes you think that you would be the special one?
I had a friend, she got pregnant by some guy she was dating, and she said, we were dating, everything was good, I said I was pregnant, and, you know, I had the child, he moved in with me, blah, blah, blah. We you know, our communication, we fell off, he moved out, he still took care of the, you know, the kid, but then after a couple months, I said, he pretty much started fading out of the picture. So I was like, well, I need money for daycare for this. And he was like, if you take me to court, I don't want to see the kid at all. And I was like, okay, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to pay for the kid,
I asked her, I said,
yeah,
I said, did he have any other kids? Like, you know, I was like, before, you know, you guys had a kid. She was like, oh, yeah, it's 5 other ones. Well, I'm like, well, there's the red flag. I mean, holding, pets interference?
Yeah.
There's, to me, and I'm not saying you can't have other children and be
good guy,
but there's got to be...
He showed you flags.
That's like if a girl comes up to me and we're in conversation. I meet her wherever, in the bar or work, and we're talking, and she's like, oh, yeah, Matt, you know, I had sex with like 70 dudes in my lifetime. That's my red flag.
Yeah.
There's some stuff should alert you
if
about.
She sleeps with you the first night.
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag.
That's your, yeah.
If she got 1 million kids, that's a red flag.
And I'm like, you know, it's, to me, you control who you let in.
Yeah.
So you can put up whatever perimeter, whatever bar. It can be 2 inches off the ground, or it could be 10 feet high.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's the thing. Yeah. I mean, you are in control. It's funny. I was always taught there's only one person you're in control of, yourself.
That's it.
You know, and like you said, you set the standard. You know what you will and will not accept. So, a lot of times, why are you accepting things that you clearly wouldn't?
Thank you.
Just so you don't want to, so you don't have to be single anymore.
Like,
you're just putting a Band-Aid. You're not even putting a Band-Aid.
Piece of tape over a leaky pipe.
Exactly.
Like it's gonna take care of it.
Exactly. I mean, you're not helping the situation. It's making it worse, actually, because then you're digging yourself into a hole that now you didn't ask for all this. You bit off way more than you could chew, and now at this point, you are jeopardizing whether a good man will actually even want you, because you got involved with this guy who is negative, and he doesn't do this and this and this, and now you're tied to him forever.
And the worst thing is to watch a good female
get ruined.
Get ruined, and then adapt to negative and settle.
Yeah.
For those type of guys.
And then and just really squander all her good potential away. You know, you see that, we see that so much nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, good girls getting with bad guys, and now what once was is literally just that.
Yep.
You know, and that's something that I've seen, and I really hate to see it, and I wish it would really just stop, because you see these women, and you're like, why is she with him?
Thank you.
He got 10 kids to 10 different women.
This.
She ain't got none. And you knew it.
And you know it.
And you still got pregnant by him.
Like a piece of me
Why
will feel...
He shouldn't even got your number.
A piece of me will feel bad, and then the other piece of me is always like, a lot of people like... After they like it. Like, they like the drama, the dramatics, the back and forth, long as it's relevant, whether it's negative or bad... negative or good, they'll accept it. Yep. You know what I mean? And it's sad that they, their lives have been conditioned. To accept the lowest standards.
Oh, it's sad. I mean, it really is, and then it's just you hate to see that, because it's like, now you're just another notch under his belt. Another notch on his, like, that was so and so. Yeah, she was bad back then. Yeah. I remember, back in blah, 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 I always thought she would end up with a real good... No. It's like when you're... The word I would say, ladies, just selective as possible. I mean, honestly. Yeah. When you're looking at a guy, it's hard to do if you're watching this and you're like 19, 20, 21. But if you're like 30, 32... First of all... And it might not look cool to you, but if you don't got a man who loves the Lord, you're done. Yeah. I mean, it's done. And I can say it now, like we always say, because I've always gone to church and been raised in the church and that, but I wasn't always following in the right path. I wasn't always doing the right things. I always knew the man upstairs was looking over me, and I was taking blessings for granted. That's what I'll say back then. Me too.
So if you get with a man, and it's sad when I see women that are great and they go to church, and every morning I'm seeing beautiful verses on Facebook and quotes and hymns, every Psalms and Proverbs and everything, and like, wow. Why would you settle for a guy who's not on that same path?
Who does nothing? Who does not any of those?
You're going to get up and take the kids to church on Sunday, and
he's at home.
He's recouping. From Saturday night. He's like, bring me some ginger ale back and some Pepsi, because he's recouping.
And that's the thing about it. You can't play both. You can't get a guy who wears both hats. No. You can't get a guy who is responsible, who is always accountable, who is always disciplined in there, and who is player, thug, running the streets, a bar rat, whatever. It doesn't work that way. No. Either you're going to be in the streets, or you're going to be in the church or in the household, and those things are that realm. And like you said, it's one of those things where, I believe church brings discipline. Yeah. Because you don't have to get up and go to church. You don't have to go to any, in regards to what your denomination is or whatever, you don't have to do that. That's a discipline. That's I woke up and I'm going to go do this. Yeah. Or this function's going on, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to volunteer and I'm going to do that. Volunteer my time. I'm not getting paid for this.
You're not getting fired if you don't show up. You're not getting a promotion if you do show up.
Exactly. And that's why it's like, to even hit on our last point, I think a lot of women really need to be honest with themselves and ask yourself, because even when we were out in the world, when we were out wilding and stuff, we knew we wasn't looking for Mrs. Right. Exactly. So we were honest. Yeah. I ain't looking for you. And I'm just out having a good time.
That's hey, that's a real point.
And I think a lot of women really need to sit and just by yourself and ask yourself, do I really want a good man, and what comes with a good man? And what comes with a good man and a good man isn't going to be what I see in a video.
No.
Or in Love and Hip Hop.
No.
Or on Housewives or anything.
And it's not going to be what...
He's not going to be with that.
It's not going to be what he can see.
Yeah, exactly.
With his two eyes.
Exactly.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. It doesn't. And I think that's a misconception, because you see... How often do you see women, I want a good man, and keep dating the same loser over and over and over and over? It's like, you don't want a good man.
No,
you don't want a good man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That was another point. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people, either they don't know what it is, or they just don't want one, or maybe they feel like they're not good enough for one yet. But, like you just said, you're not going to have Tupac Monday through Saturday, and then he turns into Heathcliff Huxtable on Sunday. It don't work like that. It really don't. Like, and like I said, not bashing women. Believe me, you have the same show addressing the
fellas. We have in the past.
Yeah, we address this men.
This is to help. This is what you brought to us.
This is what was brought to our attention. So this is what I was addressing. But a good man, they're out there. Believe me. But like we said in the meeting tonight, you get stepped over because of what some women's eyes can see first, what they're drawn to, muscles, or you got a nice chain, or you got a nice car, or you get stepped over. The 401k gets stepped over. The benefits get stepped over. The salary gets stepped over because of I can mold this, not even a piece of clay. You can't mold sand.
Yeah, exactly.
Like dry sand is not. You know what I mean?
You can't build that up.
No.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You see, and nowadays too, you see guys where he has a nice chain or he has a nice car. That might be all he has.
And that's his whole world.
That's his whole world. Like he's wearing his worth and his net worth on his neck. And you see that. So it's deeper than that. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of women nowadays are not looking. Just because he's not wearing a huge gold chain, or he might drive a neon or whatever. Does he have a good job? Does he have potential?
Thank you.
Does he have goals? Does he have discipline? Does he have structure in his life? Does he have something? Is he committed? Is he passionate about what he does? Is he passionate about where he wants to go? Is he driven? Those are the things that are important in a good man, and in a prospect. Excuse me, even a prospect.
Thank you.
What I mean?
Some of you women, like, what would you say if someone sat down with you, someone who didn't know you, that you didn't have to, lie to or embellish or whatever, and they sat down and said, "Hey, tell me about, Kevin or whoever. Tell me about your boyfriend. Name what are 5 things that make him a great guy." I don't even think some of them, if you had to think about it, or if they were all things you can outwardly, if every stuff you can see, oh, he has a nice car, he has a, no. If it starts with he has, you lost right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would, like you said, I would just, if I was, trying to find a good woman, I would sit down and make my own blueprint. I would get these days. I would get a pen and paper.
Yep, that's what I
would
did.
put a line down the middle, and I have pros and cons.
Yep. And what I will not, under no circumstances, I don't care
that's
what
in
they,
red ink.
It's red ink.
Red Sharpie.
This pops up. Absolutely not.
No.
It's a no-go.
Like for some guys, that's fine. For me,
no. Yeah.
Like one thing I could say about my wife is, it's corny, but it like you can say the same thing about your wife. She actually makes me better.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day.
Yeah. She pushes. Our wives push us. Like we were good guys when they met us, and then we just continue, and we push them.
Exactly.
We push each other to continue to want to be better, and in return, our children.
Thank you.
Will see that, and they want that. You know what I mean? And they'll go after our daughters will go after a man.
Exactly.
you know, and they have those qualities, and I think that's something that has to be addressed. So, like you said, I think you said it really best, because that's really. I remember I went through a bad relationship, and I remember saying certain things that I never, under any circumstances, would I ever deal with that. I didn't like the way I felt with that, or I didn't like the way that was handled, blah blah blah, or what that brought out of me.
Yep.
And like you said cons. And you automatically, off the bat, this is something I will not deal with.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have cons. And also, too, certain things that you have pros, like you said, you have pros and cons, and you weigh them. And everybody has cons.
Everybody.
You know, you're not going to find Mr. Right who's perfect, you know, who looks like, you know, perfect and acts perfect and knows exactly what to do. Everything might start off perfect, of course it is, because you're putting your best foot forward.
Thank you.
You know, but it's like eventually the truth, it's gonna come out. You know, he does this, it makes me mad, or he does this, it's aggravating. Do you have somebody you can talk to? Can you talk to him about it?
Thank you.
You know what?
When things arise,
yeah.
when problems arise, can you actually talk, or are you just like, I'm out?
Yeah,
I'm out.
Or sock you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like can he talk? Can he sit down and compromise? That's the big thing that we don't hear in relationships nowadays.
No.
Can you compromise? Look, I know this makes you feel this way. So you know what? I'll work on it. And you know what? I will try my hardest to make sure, because I don't want to make you feel that way. And in return, whenever sometimes she might do something, hey, you know what? I really don't like when you do that. You know, you did this, and it just... It rubbed me the wrong way, or you know, it made me feel a certain type of way, and I just don't like that. Could you not do that? When you have that ability, you know, you're able to compromise, and so those cons, the list gets shorter and shorter. You know what I mean? And the pros get longer. You know,
they go from cons to minor details.
Mm-hmm.
They go from cons to like minor details. You know,
exactly.
Like, you know, I can tweak that, and you know, we'll be fine.
Yep.
One thing I would recommend for, you know, women and men, if you're looking for someone, whatever, get someone who they were all right. They were doing good before they met you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always tell some of my friends, like, you know, they're always like, you seem like, you know, you and your wife don't, you know, you get along and perfect. I'm like, no, it's not, like, we're not perfect at all. But it'd be weird.
Yeah. I wouldn't even want a perfect.
It would be weird if we're like, hi, honey, hello,
exactly.
Food's done.
Yeah.
Kiss, night, night.
Yeah. Work was wonderful. Yeah.
Kids are bathed. Let's go to sleep.
Exactly.
Like that's weird. But I always tell a lot of my friends used to say that all the time. I would always tell my boys, like, she didn't need me to, like. I always liked the fact that I knew even if she didn't have a man, she would be all right.
Mm-hmm.
She was independent enough to take care of her, have a good job, be educated. You know, all that stuff you want in a woman.
Yep.
Yeah,
Same
so
thing
it
with
wasn't
Angel.
like,
Exactly,
you know, you found her on the street like it's she was just looking for shelter. You picked her up.
Yeah, when I met Angel, she had all that.
Exactly.
She was taking care of herself. She had a good job. She was doing all that. I didn't want to meet somebody. Oh yeah, she doesn't have a job. Yeah, she can't. She's completely 100% dependent upon me.
Thank you.
Yeah, like that's a bad start. That's not what you want, you know. So, but hey, we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up. Like I said, this was a special ladies edition from One Voice. Thank you everybody who wrote in again, especially the ladies. We really appreciate you because we really enjoy speaking of these topics, and they're very relevant.
Believe me, like they're useful.
Yeah,
they're useful for us.
Yeah, this is like therapy for me.
Yeah,
too, you know, because it makes me sit and think like, okay, well, maybe I need to do this, or
exactly.
maybe I need to
do
that. So,
like you said, the feedback, the input, you know, it's appreciated. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up now. So look out for the next show coming up. Hopefully, the gentlemen. I have to get on the guys hard because they don't like to talk too much about any kind of issues.
Next week we're
never
coming, good. Yeah. But next week we're gonna be. We got some topics. So, but yeah. Again, thanks everybody, and we'll see you guys next week.